I've been shooting Leica cameras since 9 years now, and every now and then I hear about the Leica Look. For the most part, to me, that seemed like voodoo, and I couldn't really tell if the photos that I'm getting from my Leica cameras are any different compared to what I was used to from other brands. But where is this coming from? Is it all made up, or does the infamous Leica Look actually exist?
Now, back in the day when people were shooting film, maybe there was something like the Leica Look, because people were struggling to get as much light onto the film as possible. And Leica was one of the manufacturers that had very unique lenses with a very fast aperture, like the Noctilux. And that might have given photos a certain look to it, especially the shallow depth of field. Maybe that is something you could call the Leica Look. Who knows? But what about now? What about these days? Because now this isn't an issue anymore.
And for sure, certain lenses have a look to them that is unique, which can't be reproduced by other lenses with similar specs. But is that true exclusively to Leica glass?
When I think about documentary/reportage photography, I think to me this represents the Leica Look, because often these kind of photos are taken with a lens around 35mm or wider, especially when with fast aperture. And I think this has specific look to it. And especially in 2008, Leica introduced a lens, the 21mm Summilux lens, with an aperture of f1.4, which was unheard of at that time. And when I saw images taken with that lens, especially when shot wide open, I was blown away about the look these images had. And to me, this was something I probably would call the Leica Look. One argument that someone brought up was that a lot of iconic photos were taken with a Leica camera, and that speaks for the existence of a certain Leica Look. But I would argue that that is not a valid reason to call it a Leica Look or something special, because I think these photos are so iconic because of subject matter and not so much about the look they have. And I think that could have been achieved with other cameras from other manufacturers as well.
It really comes down to your preferences when looking at an image. To me, subject matter is the most important aspect, and the technical differences of a photo aren't that relevant. And that might result in me not really noticing a certain Leica look. However, for someone examining an image from an alternate perspective compared to mine, that might be a totally different story. You might say that color rendition might also be part of that look, but I'll address that a little bit later.
Now, maybe there's another side to the story here. Maybe there's something else that helps to create a certain look, which you then could call the Leica Look. But let me explain. So, when you go out and shoot, what does it make you feel? To some people, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't do anything because the camera is just another tool and it will not have any impact. But for some people, the camera they use can potentially influence the way they shoot, and at least to some degree change their state of mind, and that surely will translate into the images they take. I think it's probably similar to when you would fly first class, because when you get off the plane, you're much more relaxed compared when you would fly economy, if that makes any sense. Every time I take out the Leica Q3 to go out and shoot, and it was the same with all the other Qs that I had since 2015. It makes me feel really excited when I go out to shoot photos in the streets. And also when I shoot film and I pick up my Leica M6, it always brings a smile to my face because I enjoy it a lot shooting this camera.
That might not matter to you, but it surely does to me, and I'm certain that it will affect the images I get in a positive way. That is what the Leica Look is for me. Now, there's a third aspect of the Leica Look discussion that I'd like to talk about, and that is, to put it simply, colors. Do Leica cameras produce better, closer to life colors? Well, there isn't an easy and quick answer to this. If you shoot film, the colors are more or less determined by the film stock you are shooting, and very important, also the film scanner you are using. Kamensita Film Lab made a nice comparison between the most common lab scanners. To me, it was surprising to see how different the files look between the Noritsu and the Frontier scan. It was quite shocking to see such a massive difference.
When you shoot a digital camera, it's a little bit different though. And me personally, I like to shoot RAW because I like the flexibility of that the RAW files give me in post-processing. But if you like to shoot JPEG, maybe this is also good because Leica, last year when they introduced the Q3, they came up with their Leica Looks. And you can download them through the app, put them on the camera and use them. And I think especially the color ones, they look really nice. Now, I just told you that I like to shoot RAW, so it doesn't really apply to me. But since I like the looks very much, I had to come up with a way to recreate them, but let me explain.
In the beginning, when I got the Q3, I was shooting RAW and JPEG because I wanted to see how the Leica looks turn out. But now, there isn't the need to do that anymore. Well, with that, I can give other Leica cameras that aren't supported by the official Leica looks a similar treatment in Lightroom. And that also works with cameras from other brands.
So if you're now curious about those looks, you can try them for yourself. You want free of charge, just go to my website and sign up for my brand new newsletter. And then you will receive a download link. You can download them, load them into your Lightroom, and you can try them yourself. My takeaway is there's no right or wrong here if the Leica Look exists or not. I think it comes down to your personal preference. But let me know down in the comments below if you can see a certain Leica Look or not. It would be very interesting to get a discussion rolling. But I think in the end, it doesn't really matter if it exists or not. But I think what really matters, or what it comes down to, is what you can do with your camera and the images that you produce.
Now, YouTube thinks that you should watch this video here, but before you do that, please hop over to my website and sign up for my brand new newsletter.